Understanding tibial rotation can be huge if you're having trouble straightening or bending or both at your knee. So, tibial rotation, like we talked about, is this spin of the tibia bone down at your knee. When we bend our knee, it is supposed to come out and turn out. So, if I use this being my left leg, if I kick my leg out, like so. There's supposed to be a little bit of rotation out. When I bring my knee in, there's supposed to be a little bit of rotation in. It is a natural phenomenon that's part of our biomechanics, and yet it's often not addressed in traditional rehab. So if you're having trouble getting to extension, maybe we're missing a little bit of that turn out. If we're having trouble getting to full flexion, maybe we're missing a little bit of that turn in. Now, what's important to think about is that your hamstrings up here at your hip come down. It is not just one thing. They're called strings for a reason. There's multiple. There's a lateral portion, your biceps femoris, if you want to win some points in anatomy class. Then there's your medial portion, your semitendinosus, your semimembranosus up in here on the medial side of your knee. They will help you pull on different sides of this tibia. The lateral ones pull more on the outside, the medial ones pull more on the inside. Pretty straightforward. And so you're probably wondering, okay, I get it. That tibia bone needs to turn. What can I do to actually help that turn? One of the simplest drills that we will start people with is a tib rotation drill. It's that simple. There's a couple of ways to do it, but the way that I like to start people with it's simplest, sit on a box, your feet can be on, or on a chair, or on even on a couch. Your feet can be off the ground. Now, I want you to take your left and right hand. I'm going to demonstrate on my right knee. Find where those hamstrings go in it at the back of your knee. If you're having trouble, just put your foot against the back of something and start to pull. You will feel two rope-like structures on the inside and inside and outside of your knee. Those are your hamstring tendons. So now you know where they are. Put a hand on each. And what I want you to do is imagine that you are turning, like pulling on two different sides of a wheel at your shin bone, and you want to feel this part, this little nub at the top of your leg, start to turn. If I roll up my pant leg, we should see that shin bone rotate. Now, you will also feel your ankle turning. That's okay. Your ankle's allowed to turn, but we want to pull on the outside hamstring a little extra to turn the bone and pull on the inside hamstring to turn the bone a little bit. And we just want to gently and smoothly rotate back and forth, pulling on those hamstring muscles, making that tibia, that shin bone, rotate. Imagine there's a laser pointer at the top of it, and you just want to swing that laser pointer back and forth, pulling more on the outside, more on the inside. Work that back and forth for anywhere from 20 to 30 reps until you can have some smooth, easy motion at that knee. The next thing we can do is a simple hamstring curl, but with an internal rotation bias. Now, I don't mean up at the hip. We don't want this hip to be doing all kinds of twisting while we're doing all this. We want to keep this from the knee down. All you're going to need is a simple band. It can be a TheraBand, a super band like this, anything you have around. We are then going to take that band. We're going to loop it around our foot. I like to create a little bit of an extra loop like so. So there's a little bit of tension on the inside. But we're going to take that band, and then what we're going to do is we're going to do a really simple hamstring curl, but I want your emphasis to be about pulling on the inside. I want you to feel your shin. Now that you've figured out how to turn that tibia, I want you to turn it in and then pull into that hamstring curl and then relax. Rotate in, pull back, keeping that shin bone turned in, not at your hip, but from that shin bone. Rotate it in, pull in, relax. Rotate that shin bone in, get that extra pull on the inside, and then pull into the hamstring curl. You should feel more pressure on the inside of this hamstring than on the outside as you're doing your curls. And so this last one is called an elephant walk. This one isn't so much about tibial rotation as it is about starting to explore some of that rotation that you've now unlocked. All you're going to need is a stool or a small box. Setup's going to be important here. We're going to get over, try and hinge in a good proper hinge, but then get your weight forward onto this box. You'll notice my hands are underneath my chest or almost underneath my stomach. My knees are a little soft, and without moving from here, I'm going to squeeze my quad to push my leg straight. Notice I say push. I don't say push my knee back or pull my knee back. I say push my leg straight. We want to push that foot into the ground by pushing down, squeezing our quad, this muscle. As we push and squeeze, that leg starts to go straight. But what we're doing is if we focus on a push down and squeeze, we get a better action through that quad, and that actually does help encourage some of that external rotation at the tibia we were talking about. So we're pushing, 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 and notice my shin, even though when I straighten it, doesn't actually travel way back here. It goes here, squeezes straight as I push my leg into the ground with my quad muscle. So to review, we've talked about the importance of tibial rotation and how the hamstrings affect that and how that can help move the knee around. We've looked at seated tibial rotations where we sit and we work on pulling on the individual hamstrings to turn the shin bone. We've then worked on putting some tension, a little bit of load through the hamstrings by putting a loop around, turning that hamstring in with the medial hamstring and pulling into a hamstring curl, like so. And then we talked about some elephant walks, which is a way to get into this position, push down through the leg by tightening the quad and getting this leg straight. If we're in the ground, we're pushing straight with that quad muscle, which is also going to help some of that external rotation at the tibia, but also get that quad muscle active, which is a huge piece of anyone with some angry knees. This video hopefully is going to start you on the road to getting that knee moving a little bit better. If this video worked for you, you started to figure out how to unlock that knee, and you're on a great first step to getting that knee moving better. If you liked this content and you like our take on knee rehab and this video helped you, be sure to follow us for more. Check us out on our Instagram, our Facebook, or if you really want to work with us, head on over to entrypointrehab.com, book a free discovery call, or book an online evaluation, and we'll get you feeling and moving better and moving like the athlete you deserve to be today.